Hey everybody, it's Kyla at the MJC again, and I am here this time to walk you guys through the debt section of the financial disclosure statement. But before we get started on that, as always, just a reminder that nothing in this video is intended to be legal advice. It's obviously a video, so I'm not able to analyze your specific situation and tell you whether what you're doing is right for your situation, whether what you're doing is in your best interest, or whether a court is likely to approve what you're proposing. So, if you have questions like that, I would definitely recommend that you get some legal advice. You can get brief legal advice for free here in Milwaukee County through the Marquette Volunteer Legal Clinics. If you're not in Milwaukee County, you can contact your clerk of court to find out what resources are available in your county. All right, so let's get into this. So the debt section, before I get started, just something to let you all know as we fill this out. If you are filling this out, if you are doing your part 2, all of your second part documents jointly, so you plan to continue your divorce together with your spouse, you need to make sure that your debt sections match. So if I list a debt, even if it is just my debt and it has never been in both of our names, I'm the only person that signed the contract, my spouse would still list that on their document, and I would list any of their debts on mine. Again, that includes ones we don't have together. And if you're filling this out on your own, yours will also include debts that you don't have together with your spouse. So if you took out a student loan 20 years ago, you'll still list it here, even if it has nothing to do in your mind or in anyone's mind with your divorce. So just something to keep in mind as we do this. Also, for those of you filling it out on your own, so not planning to go forward together with your spouse, you'll want to make sure that if you know your spouse has a debt, you'll want to put as much information about that as you know, even if it's just, wife's car loan or husband's mortgage. If you know more information, be more specific, but as much as you know about it. All right, so let's hop into this. In the very unlikely situation that you have no debts at all, you're just going to put none in this first, you're going to spell none right, none in this first box, and that's it. But for most people, you're going to have some debts. So what are some examples of debts that you might have? Mortgages, back taxes, car loans, student loans, credit card debts, medical debts, student loans, personal loans, payday loans, pretty much anything with loan in the title, loans from a friend or family member, all that sort of stuff is going to go here. And it doesn't matter if we've listed it somewhere else already. So those of you who've been watching all of these videos may remember that in the previous sections, we listed Jane's mortgage balance up here. We're still going to list the mortgage down here as well. So in the first line, you're just going to put the creditor's name. So Jane's mortgage is through Acme Bank. Type of obligation, so that's where you'd put a mortgage, or if it's a car loan, a mortgage. A car loan, you could put car loan, credit card, student loan, like what kind of debt is it? Here you're going to put who currently pays that debt. Again, remember the little bit of weird setup. A is for the petitioner if you filed separately. It is for joint petitioner A if you filed a joint petition. B is for the respondent, or it's for joint petitioner B if you filed a joint petition. And T is if it's something you pay together or you're supposed to pay together. For this who currently pays, obviously if you are currently paying it, you would put who is paying it. If for some reason it's a debt that you're not able to pay right now, but it's still a debt that you have, I would typically say who would the creditor say is supposed to be paying it. So you can put, again, who is supposed to be paying that. A or petitioner, B or respondent, or both of you together. And so in this situation, the mortgage, I think I said before, is just in Jane's name, and she's the petitioner, so we would check A. And then here you're going to put what the monthly payment is. If you're not currently paying it, what you can do is you can put what you're supposed to pay if you know it, or if you can put 0 if that's just what you're actually paying. If you have a payment that you are making, you're going to put what amount you are paying. So let's say Jane's is $350. And then here is where you're going to put the total balance. So the current balance is everything you owe on that. If you know the exact number for the current balance, that's fantastic. If you just have a best estimate, so you know it's about 65, go ahead and put that. And so that's really how you fill this section out. You'll note it does want an address for creditors. If you have that, that's wonderful information to include. If you don't have that information or it's difficult to find, then typically, again, when we're filling these out at the Justice Center, we find those addresses are less important. So if you don't have them, it's not a big deal. And so, yeah, that's how you would do it. And so you would just go through, and then we do the same for the car loan. So maybe, we have a car loan through Santander. And let's say that one's Jane's. Here she would put, again, what she pays per month, and then the total amount that she owes on that. And then here, if John has a car loan, again, even if that's not in Jane's name, let's say he got it after they split up, we would still list that here. So we're going to call it Yo Car Loans. And same thing, car loan. And that would be B. And then again, monthly payment. If Jane were filling this out on her own and she knows he has a loan but doesn't know the monthly payment, unknown. As a general rule, you can put unknown for the other person because it might be hard to find out the information about theirs, but you can't put unknown for yours. Those of you who are joint petitioners won't be able to put unknown because it's presumed that, well, maybe you can't get the information. The other party could get the information. So again, unknown is only if you are putting information about the other party and you are not putting it together. Otherwise, you're going to want to put your best estimate of that. Yeah, so that is filling in that section. And again, just as a reminder of things you want to put in here, mortgages, car loans, back taxes. For back taxes, remember both the IRS and the Department of Revenue. So if I owe both the feds and the state, I might have the IRS on this line, but the Department of Revenue, which is Wisconsin's, Department of Revenue, if I could spell, it would make my life easier. The Department of Revenue for Wisconsin, those might be separate. You wouldn't just list them together. And so biggest thing here is putting the creditor's name, because some people will put just the type of creditor. Let's say taxes, and we don't want that here. We want the creditor name. So anyway, back taxes, credit card debts, medical debts, student loans. Basically, if I pull a credit report on you, what's going to show up on that credit report? All right, well, that is filling in the debts section. I hope that this video was helpful for you guys. Thank you, as always, for watching it. If you still have questions, you can always come in and see us at the Milwaukee Justice Center, located in room G9 of the Milwaukee County Courthouse. But otherwise, that's all for this video. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you all go out and represent yourselves well.